case, this is a Veevus thread in 16.0 in olive. It's a nice fine thread, and what I do is start at the eye. Now I'm just going to show you how to start. I've got a few questions asking about starting the thread, or tying the thread onto the hook for the first time. All I use is the eye of the hook to hold. Basically stops the thread falling off. And I start on the far side, and I basically just bring the thread turn over the waste piece of thread, as I would call it, and then wind down. In this case, being a dry fly, I'm going to wind halfway down and remove the waste piece, and then come halfway back up, and that'll give me the position for the wing. Now I'm going to tie in the hackle first. The hackle I'm using is a very pale olive cock hackle. Now take one of the feathers away. There we are. And the first thing you do is remove the fine fluff at the bottom. And the way I'm going to tie this, I'm going to tie the hackle forward of the eye, just a couple of turns or so to hold it, heading down the way, and leave the waste piece, as you can see there. Then I'm going to get two small CDC feathers to give the impression of the wing. These are natural CDC feathers. Kilde canard. These are the feathers that come from the preanal gland of the duck, and they give a great impression of a wing. So what I've done here is actually tie them so that the natural curve of the feather is forcing the fibres apart. They'll not sit perfect like that anyway, but I like to do it when I'm tying these flies. The length of the wing, looking round about the length of the shank, or towards the length of the hook, I'm going to tie that forward of the eye. It's a pinch and loop. Just watch what I'm doing. Just a wee check at the length, and that'll do fine. And then the wax is on my finger, as always, keep it there. Just run the wax onto the thread, which will basically give you lots of grip. Now, half brown, halfway down, I'm going to trim away the waste, a slight angle, and then carry on all the way down. Just to the point, keep winding the thread down until just before you go round the bend or in line with the barb of the hook. Now, using the same cape, get one of the bigger feathers, and this is one here. I want to use some of these fibres for the tail. Now, normally you'd only, for a fly this size, probably four fibres or so would be enough. But I want to use some of the colour of this hackle for the body. So what I'm going to do is take a slightly bit more. Now, I don't know, there's about maybe 8 to 10 fibres there. Now the length of the tail, approximately the length of the hook. The way I tie it on is quite simple. Just slightly get the ends, or the rough ends towards myself at an angle. Bring the thread over, and that turn will bring round the tips of the fibres. Then I bring the thread underneath the tail, let the tail go, and then pull up, and this will lift and separate the fibres. That's enough. And then what I want to do is form a rib in the body, and the easiest way to do this and to save the bulk. All I'm going to do is use a permanent marker pen, in this case brown, just on about an inch of the thread, and then rib the fly, or rib the body. Now keep these ends, you'll see the yellow part of the hackle fibre showing. Now it is minute, the colour, you'll see it there, but it does make a difference. It does make a difference in the water, you'll see it. Just trim that away, away the excess, and then just a matter of tidying up a wee bit. Just bring the thread up. Now you could wind the hackle round and form your parachute, or in this case I'm going to use a wee tiny bit of mole, and this is mole and rabbit, blended together. Natural mole, which is a grey, and the rabbit is much just a slightly lighter colour. Just enough to form a thorax. A wee quick look, see how this is all sitting. Just form. This really tidies up. Bring it to the front. That looks okay. Then get yourself a fine pair of Hackle pliers. And then just form your parachute hackle. Now you can really reduce the turns if you want. Round a bit, depending how good the hackle is. Just hold the wing as you go round. I like about maybe 3 to 4 turns or so. To tie it off, all I do is bring the hackle point in front of the thread, bring the thread up, using the hackle to hold the thread from falling off the eye. I do a turn, and I do the same again to the eye. You may catch 1 or 2 fibres, but don't worry. Do another one. Then let the hackle go. Bring this up, and any fibres going forward of the eye, give them a couple of turns, basically to hold. Now get a thin varnish, just wipe it on the thread just at the eye, just around about 4 or 5 millimeters away from the eye. Again, just make sure the fibres are out of the way. 3 turns is plenty or so. Tighten up. Trim away the thread. Trim your hackle. And there we are.